Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for June 2023. We're just going to jump right in here, Libra. In your current journal energies, look at this. You have this early in the month card. It says the aha moment will arrive. Don't wait for clarity to get started. And then you have the end of the month, and it says timing will be perfect. Pay attention to the details. And so, clearly, you could be starting the month of June having some sort of plan or idea, and it looks to me like, guess what? You're going to get started on it by the end. I also kind of get this feeling that, again, if you're like working on a project, a business, or just, it could be something personal as well, like a personal project or a home-based project, you could be finishing it in record time. I mean, you literally have the world here. And the world is a card of completion. It's a card of accomplishing something. And so, I feel for a lot of you, you could be actually accomplishing something kind of in record time here this month. Again, it might not be anything all that amazing. Like I said, it could just be like maybe you're doing some, late spring cleaning and you get it done a lot faster than you thought. But look at this. You have this rushing success card here. This is coming up in the area of the good stuff. You have this great fortune card. I mean, this is a really good reading. And every single card is kind of saying that things could be, happening very quickly for you this month, which is great, especially, I kind of have the word specific popping into my head here. So, in the Page of Cups, one thing I will say about the Page of Cups is normally he's holding that cup, he's got that fish in the cup. And I always say that fish in the cup could, we don't know. That's why people always say, why do you say could? I'm like, because we don't know. We don't actually know what that fish in the cup is, if it's real or if it's fake. So, it might, and I don't mean fake, it might just be part of his imagination. And the thing is that you end with the moon card here. So the moon, also kind of says that there could be something that you're thinking of doing that's more dreamy. Again, to me, I think the moon gets a bad rap personally. I personally like the moon. We don't know the details when we're working towards something with the moon card, but the moon does not say stop. Again, I think some readers read it like it's saying like, oh, stop, you're working towards something that is an illusion, which couldn't be further from the truth. There are mountains in the background of the moon, and those mountains represent achievements, and plus it's part of the fool's journey. If the fool were to turn around, he would be going backwards. He needs to continue towards those mountains, and then he's going to get to the sun. The moon is also temporary. The moon comes up, this moon goes down, the sun comes up, right? So, again, there could be something where you're not sure if it's real or fake or an illusion. It could be anything. And I feel like that's what you're working towards, is like something that hasn't been created yet is what I'm getting. It's more of a dream. You have the world and you have the star. You have all these like amazing cards here that are saying like, if you get working towards this, you are going to be successful very, very quickly. You also have a lot of travel stuff here. You literally have this card that says journey on it coming up in your third row. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. But, some of you could be traveling. You have the Six of Swords next. The Six of Swords can literally just represent moving on to calmer shores. So I do feel that some of you, but it could, it could also represent travel. And so I wouldn't be surprised if some of you were like traveling. Oh, you have the Chariot as well. I didn't even see that. So, excuse me. I feel like some of you could be just could simply be a move. And again, this might be something more, it doesn't have to be a move like to a new city or something. It could be you're just like moving jobs or you're changing something else in your life. But that's kind of like what I see there. There is a little bit, by the way, in your next row, you have this temptation card. And what I will say is before I forget, you go 5 of Swords, 3 of Swords to the Ace of Wands here. Again, I would be careful of like settling for someone from the past. That's what's popping into my head here. Again, not telling you what to do. I mean, we've all done it. We've all made the mistake, right, of going back to some egghead from the past. But what I would say here is that, I would just be careful. With the Page of Cups, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Building, leaving a legacy. I keep telling people like the best thing we can do is build or leave a legacy right now. We have Uranus and Taurus, and Uranus and Taurus is all about our values, but it's also about building anything that could increase your freedom. This could be your free time. This could be being able to spend more time with people you care about. Could be the freedom to travel, whatever. And so, there's different ways that we can do this. We could, if you want to travel, maybe you get a job that involves travel, right? And that's like a great way to increase your freedom. Maybe you get a job that pays you more money and you have to work less hours, and that could be a way to increase your freedom. But again, we're not just going to magically find these things. As I say to everyone as well, with the astrology, the moon card here showing up, that's Pisces. That Neptune, we have that Neptune and Pisces energy, which is very kind of like murky. And I keep telling people there's like a lot of gold that exists right now. You literally see it right here with this great fortune card, but we have to move a lot of dirt to get to the gold. As I say, it's like we're not going to just like magically, get things that improve our life, but if we look for it, we're going to find it. And that's like the trick. With the world, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Everybody gets something about resources. I think that we're going to see a lot of stuff going on with resources. I've been saying this since 2016, that, Neptune and Pisces rules anything that flows, and that includes currency, we call it. So, money. And, we're going to see a lot of craziness with the money. But, I would just say keep your head on straight and, be resourceful. I keep encouraging people to be as resourceful as possible. With the Six of Swords, you have the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords right here, you need to set yourself free from something. Eight of Swords is self-imposed restriction. And then you have the Star, which is like a wish or wish fulfillment. So some of you, I feel like you need to see that a wish is possible, or whatever this Page of Cups thing is. For some of you, it could be love, could be a new job. It's going to be different for all of you. But, I would just, don't only look at only one way of doing things. Next, we're going to look at the information you need to hear right now. You have this wealth of knowledge. It says, connect to the knowledge in your soul to teach and help heal the world. You have this temptation card. It says, what is tempting you at this moment may not be a wise choice. Again, I get the feeling that it could be a past person. For sure. We just had this moon in Taurus, this new moon in Taurus, and, depending on when you're watching this, it might have been a couple weeks ago if you're watching this in June, but if you're watching it in May, then we just had it, and you have the Chariot, and I have pretty much said that that whole new moon in Taurus was all about like really setting yourself apart, and everybody's been getting the Chariot. It's crazy. So, I would say anything you can do to make yourself unique or to set yourself apart or to, move towards a bigger goal, that is clearly going to be something that makes you very successful. You have the Chariot, the Star, and the Five of Swords. So I do feel there's like a victory coming in for you. I also feel like there could be a move coming in for you as well. On top of that, you have the Ten of Wands to the Moon. Again, I'll just show you here. It's like 10 of Wands to the Moon. It's like you want to make a move, and I'm not even talking about like moving as in, to another city or something. I feel like you want to make a move, but the 10 of Wands could be like too many burdens or too many obstacles getting in the way, and the Moon could be like you're not sure about what steps to take. Number one, I would just stay focused and motivated with the Star card. Star card's about having like a North Star, having that, thing that you can aim at that keeps you motivated or that you keep working towards, like having a purpose. So, I'm literally working on a video right now all about this, about like developing, I call it a focusing statement, but you can call it whatever you want. And, what it is, it's basically having a statement that is like your purpose, that everything you do in your life should kind of like go towards that statement. And as long as that's happening, then you're moving forward, and that's all you need to know. It's kind of like something that can make you feel more secure to have like a focusing statement as well. You have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords, can represent winning at all cost. If you went through a breakup, I feel like some of you could have been with a person who just wanted to win, at all cost, or, whatever the case may be. I almost get the feeling of this person ending things just so that they wouldn't be broken up with, if that makes sense. So some of you could have been dealing with a person like that, and now they're coming back probably because you didn't chase, is what I'm seeing here, if that story is for you. And I feel like you're just moving on. I would just be careful of this person. For the rest of you, this card to me is about risk taking, and the Five of Swords to me always says like take some sort of risk, or it's time for you to kind of like take a leap of faith. So let's see where this is going. With the Chariot, you have the Ten of Wands. I said 10 of Wands, but you have the 10 of Swords right here. But it's funny that I said 10 of Wands because you do have the 10 of Wands. So basically, the message stays the same. I feel like there are too many burdens. The 10 of Swords also says that maybe something has to come to an end, which, again, I think it's basically the same for everyone. We all have to sacrifice something. We all have to let go of something right now. And I know that sounds scary, but it's really not. It's like there could just be certain things that we're holding on to that are just kind of like a waste of time, when we could be holding on to something that's much harder than, this new world that we could be entering into, but we're all like afraid of it. So, I would say don't fear change. With the Star, you have the King of Wands. Number one, I do feel like you could be attracting like a new fire sign if you are looking for love. So if you're looking for love, definitely could be a fire sign. It doesn't have to be. I would also say that, there's a lot of stuff here in this reading about having confidence and moving quickly towards something. So, I really feel at the beginning of the month, you could have this idea and you could start working on it at the beginning of the month. And I feel that King of Wands is kind of like saying, see it all the way through to the end, but also, build it. He's kind of like the entrepreneur in the tarot, but he's also like the builder, kind of like I consider personally the Knight of Wands to be the true builder in the tarot. But he's like willing to build something, and he doesn't need to know how he's going to do it. He just like figures it out as he goes. With the Five of Swords, yes, it's like something that doesn't seem like an opportunity actually is. Again, it's one of those things where, I think we're going to see a lot of changes in the world, and these changes on the surface could look a little bit scary, but like what they lead to is actually going to be something a lot better. So, like don't fear change is kind of what I'm getting here. Ace of Pentacles is a new opportunity, and then you go up to the Page of Wands, to the Moon. Again, it's like just see how something goes is what the Moon is saying to me. That Moon is coming up in the area of the good stuff. So, it's going to be positive no matter what. And again, I feel like there could be an opportunity where maybe you're not exactly sure, how it's going to turn out or how to create it or how to get working on it. But I would just do it anyway. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this Great Fortune card and this Journey card. For some of you, number one, I do feel like this could be love. Like someone could be flying you out or something like that here, Libra. I don't know. Take it how it resonates. It popped into my head. So, it's obviously not going to be true for all of you. But, for some of you, you could be literally traveling to see someone. And if that's for you, again, I feel like you could feel very fortunate here. I really feel like you appreciate something or someone really appreciates you. So, if you're attracting love, I feel like it's like a very appreciative kind of like connection here. It's not like toxic or anything like that. For others, I feel if you're thinking about moving or traveling, clearly there are going to be a lot of good fortunes in traveling. Again, things you probably don't see yet with the Moon. We had all this Capricorn energy, I should say, and we have Pluto retrograding back into Capricorn before, next year it's going to be in Aquarius officially. But what I will say is sometimes I feel like Pluto and Capricorn, or just the Capricorn energy in general, I always say, like, look for additional benefits. This is Chris's crappy astrology, right? But what I would say is, I've been saying it since 2016 when Saturn was in Capricorn that I was getting something like intuitively about additional benefits, meaning, like, if you're going to move somewhere, don't just, like, move somewhere. Like, try to find a place that's, like, better, cheaper, and maybe get a job that pays you more money. Again, those are, like, the types of opportunities that we can find with all this Capricorn energy if we look. But if we don't look, we're not going to find the opportunity. So we have to look. But just know that if you're thinking about moving somewhere, maybe there's a place you could live that's like cheaper but better, and also you get a job that pays you more money. It's like a win-win-win type of situation. I would be looking for that with this opportunity. You have the Ten of Swords, the Page of Wands, and the Three of Swords here. The Ten of Swords says something is dead, done, over with. Definitely could be a past person. It looks to me like you've already healed from this Tower moment. I mean, you have the star showing up in your reading. So, the star is kind of like saying it's time for you to heal from a connection or something. And, the star always comes up after the Tower. So I feel like some of you, something is dead, done, over with, and you're releasing it here. Maybe you're a little bit unsure of what will come next, right? With the Moon. I definitely get that feeling here. But, for the most part, I feel like you're moving forward. I feel like you're feeling very enthusiastic about new beginnings here. I also do feel like this could be something very unexpected, a very like youthful, type of connection here. I'm not saying this person is younger than you, but I do feel you could be attracting someone who's just very youthful, like very, it's like they're very full of life. I feel like they don't let things get them down. I feel like they're more optimistic than they are pessimistic. It's like they have a much more positive attitude, I'm getting. And maybe that's something that you notice about this person. Definitely could be a fire sign, clearly. I mean, you have all this fire here, so it just wouldn't surprise me if it was a fire sign, but, take it how it resonates. If you don't like fire, no need to leave a comment, right? Go, just... There's plenty of other people you could date. I don't need to hear about it. So, there you go. This is a general reading. Next, you have the Three of Swords. Three of Swords is a separation. I kind of feel like you're letting go of something from the past here. With the Three of Swords, again, someone I feel could have hurt you. It's like, I feel like you were sad about this, but now you're healing. It could be very surprising if this person does kind of poke their head back up at this point because maybe you think that it's totally over. But at the same time, I think you're going to either ignore it or tell them off anyway. So I wouldn't even worry about it. But again, I would be focused on like fortunate opportunities. But I would be focusing on opportunities just in general that you're not sure about. It's like, this reading is basically saying, great fortune, going this way, stepping into the unknown is what's going to create the most success for you at this time. Chariot, he is literally stepping into the unknown. Really, that Chariot is going away from what he has always known. So he's going into the unknown. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Seven of Wands. Yeah, I feel like you have your boundaries up against anything, any person that's toxic or any situation that's toxic. With the Page of Wands, you have the Knight of Wands. We talked about the Knight of Wands. It's funny that I said Knight of Wands, the builder. To me, he's a true builder because he represents, he is like the card of being spontaneous. So if he's trying to build something like a business, new career, a new relationship, it's like he doesn't really care how he does it. He just wants to do it. He's gonna, find a way. Even if something doesn't work, he tries something else, which we have the Eight of Swords here. And the Eight of Swords says, if one way doesn't work, try something else. With the Three of Swords, you have the Moon. Someone's still confused. Sorry, I'm throwing cards. I feel like if this is a person who's trying to come back, I feel like they're confused, but it's like you're not. So, let this person be confused. The other kind of thing I'm getting here, Libra, is you could have a person who's coming back who's trying to be all like, oh, I was confused, this person said this to me and I was confused about the connection. Like that's popping into my head. It's like, if you're with me, you should know exactly what I am, what I'm about. I'm very clear, right? And I feel like I'm speaking as you here, Libra. I feel like you are very clear, very straightforward, and just like, this is who I am. It's like, so there was no reason for them to be confused. And I am like that too, by the way. I'm very clear, very straightforward, right? And that's how we should all be. Because then, if someone says that they're confused, we can just be like, well, actually, you're just a dumbass. So, because I am who I am. I'm exactly who I am, right? So when we're clear, then we can basically call them a dumbass and move on. And that's kind of like what's going on here. Next, you have this rushing success card. It says, rushing the process won't give you the kind of success that lasts. That's not true because clearly things are moving forward very quickly for you. And there's even a light bulb on this card. I'm going to show you right here that he is riding. And so I feel like there is rushing success because, again, this is coming up in the area of the good stuff. And look at this. This lack specifics card also has light bulbs on it as well. So you're clearly having an aha moment. It says, have set very vague goals that are hard to visualize and hard to attain. We were kind of actually talking about that with the Moon, a little bit of lack of clarity. So again, even though it is coming up in the good stuff, I would get clear on the details, but it is coming up in the good stuff. So I feel like you're kind of going to be reaching some sort of goal. The other thing I'm getting is maybe you were confused in the past on a goal, wish, or dream with the Ace of Pentacles here. And it's like now you're actually gaining clarity because the Moon shows up in the good stuff. So you're probably moving forward. This could also represent the fact that maybe you're releasing your emotional armor. The Moon can represent wearing emotional armor, which, like one of the meanings of the Moon is that if you're wearing emotional armor, if you're like emotionally guarded to new opportunities, then it's very hard to move because armor is heavy. Armor is, hard to move around in. And it's like when we release things, then we can move forward much easier. And so I kind of feel that here, where it's like some of you might be just in a place emotionally where you're ready to move forward. And I'm not even talking about love here. I'm talking about everything. And so because of that, you're progressing. You have the Justice card. I love that in the area of the good stuff, you're showing up as yourself. This puts you in a position of power and strength, allows you to get what you want from the reading. So I see a lot of success here and also a lot of, justice in general. You have the Ace of Wands, very passionate new beginning. I feel like you're feeling good. Like I don't even feel any of the traditional meanings on this Ace of Wands. I just feel like you're feeling good, like you're feeling inspired, like things are going your way, like you can have the things that you want. And it's like I feel like you not only do you feel this, but I also feel like you think it. It's like different. It's like more, there's like something logical here where it's maybe you have felt that you're about to rush towards success, right? But now it's like moving to your mind. It's moving to this place where you're actually thinking of the things that you need to do and you're doing them. You're taking action. You have all these Wands cards here. So, love it. I feel like there are great fortunes coming in for you because of this. With the Moon, you have the Queen of Cups. Yes, trusting your heart. The Queen. Everybody gets the Queen of Cups nowadays. And again, I really think that this is Uranus and Taurus energy, even though she would represent a water sign. Yes, I understand that. People love to remind me. It's like, yeah, I've only been doing this for like 20 years. I know what I'm talking about here. But what I would say is, yes, I understand that she doesn't represent Uranus and Taurus. But Uranus and Taurus energy is all about heart-based energy, moving towards the things that you want in your life, moving towards things, that align with your values. And if you do that, you're going to be very successful. With the Justice card, you have the Magician. What was I seeing here? The Chariot. The Chariot driver, he kind of looks like the Magician. He's even holding a wand that looks like the Magician's wand. So again, it's just like another sign that I feel moving, like setting yourself apart, moving in new directions will lead to a lot of success. Pretty much every single sign has had something about setting yourself apart with the Chariot. I have never seen the Chariot so much in my life. It's like kind of blowing my mind as I have over the last 2 months. So the universe clearly wants everybody to set themselves apart, just probably because it's the time to do that. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Temperance card, turning one thing into another. Temperance is like alchemy. You could turn a positive into a negative. You can turn a negative into a positive. And so, obviously I would turn negatives into positives with the Temperance card. That is probably going to lead to the most success for you here, Libra. Pretty straightforward reading. I love it. I feel like there's a lot of success coming in for you. We're going to pull 5 main themes and see what is going on here. You have this Lust card. Do I feel good about this? Yeah. I feel like there could be a very lusty connection. The funny thing is maybe that's how it starts out. If you're meeting a new person, maybe it starts out as like friends with benefits or something like that, but it turns into something much, much deeper. This is Venus and Aries, and it would not surprise me if it was a person who had Venus and Aries. They might not be a fire sign. They could be any sign, but they might have Venus and Aries or something like that. Definitely popping into my head. Next, you have this achievements card. While I was shuffling that, there's a card in this deck that's called Riches, and it kind of stood out to me. You have this Great Fortune card, but this achievement card is very similar. So, and this whole entire reading is about like some sort of achievement in your life, like rushing success, quick success coming in for you. You have this principle card. Queen of Cups is kind of about principles, like the morals, values, ethics, like things like that we have in life. So, as long as you're living your values, you're going to be very successful. People who don't live their values at this time are going to have a really hard time. This includes like settling for relationships where you're putting a certain amount of energy in and you're not getting that energy out, right? That is one way to not live your values. If you have a job that you hate, that you're miserable in going to, you're not living your values. So, it's like, what can you change to live your values? You have this drama card. I would avoid drama at all costs. You air signs, what I will say is that because we had Mars retrograde in Gemini, it's not there anymore, but it doesn't matter. I would avoid drama for the rest of the year if I was an air sign, plain and simple. Finally, you have this enthusiasm card. Could be a Sagittarius coming in for you, by the way. If I didn't say that, I might have said it, but, could be a Sag. The other thing is again, this is a very enthusiastic reading. I think you are feeling very enthusiastic and feeling like you can accomplish things. So, I would move towards your enthusiasm as well. But this is a pretty good reading here, Libra. I love it. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your month.